Just want to talk with you all a little bit about our recruiting statistics from this year for teachers. And the first chart we're going to take a look at here are the colleges that our teachers have been coming to us from this year, 2021-22. We, of course, seek diversity in all of our recruitment efforts. And we reach out across the United States to colleges and universities looking for candidates. But as you can see here, East Tennessee State University is our highest number of new teachers coming out of this year. If I ask the room, how many of you are ETSU alumni in here? Raise your hand. Okay, all right, good. A very good portion of people are from East Tennessee State University. Go Bucks. So we also have a representation there of several different colleges across Tennessee and the United States. The next chart there shows the number of years of teaching experience these teachers coming to us this year.
I didn't see California.
I'm sorry. Well, you were the year before. So the number of years of teaching experience, you can see there that 24 or 42% of our teachers came to us this year with 0 years of experience. 17 or 29.8% 1 to 2 years, 3 to 4 years, 10.5%, and 5 or more years that came in at 17.5%. So about 71% of our new teachers had 2 or less years of experience. As our teachers leave us, we conduct a very confidential exit interview with them. We want to know why they're leaving. And we do this, like I said, confidentially. It doesn't go into their personnel file. And we use this information, we feel like it's very vital in analyzing where our teachers are going, why they're leaving us, and what attributes to our turnover. So if you look at that chart, teachers going to other schools in Tennessee, we had 22 of our teachers going to other schools in Tennessee. 16 or 34.8% are going into some kind of non-teaching role. And we had some other reasons for leaving there. And then if we look specifically at the schools or districts that are recruiting from us, I'm going to say that nicely, they're recruiting. I could say stealing, but they're actually recruiting from us. You can see that Hamlin County has the highest number of recruits. 5 of our teachers went to Hamlin County, 4 went to Kingsport, and then we had some Rogersville City, Greene County, on around there. A different type of work, 17 of our teachers, and then we had 5 to move out of state. In looking at the teachers that left us last year, the average number of years that they taught in Hawkins County was around 7.6 years. So you can see that they are stealing or recruiting our veteran teachers. And when we ask, when we look at the teachers that they're stealing from us, the reasons why they were seeking alternative employment, you can see there that compensation was the highest rated. Commuting came in next. Different type of work. We had 4 moving out of state. Some gave a reason of health or seeking an advanced degree, and 1 person commented at the curriculum.
Could you go back real quick, sorry,
Yes.
to level of effectiveness?
Oh, I skipped right over that.
I just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, yes. Got ahead of myself. Okay, so the level of effectiveness are the scores that our teachers, that all of our teachers get every year from their observations, as well as their growth and achievement that their students, how they're performing. So when we looked at that, we noted that out of the teachers that left us, 17 were a level 5, 13 were a level 4, 8 level 3, 3 level 2, we had 0 at level 1, and 5 were partial year exemptions. So you can see, we're getting robbed.
So not to interrupt Ms. Grinham, but I wanted to highlight this piece here because when Melissa and I came to you last year after you had asked us to look at teacher salaries, Teresa has ran this data for a number of years, and what we've seen is we don't just lose people. Losing people is bad enough. Losing teachers is bad enough. When we're losing the top tier teachers in our system, year after year after year, to the tune of 30–40% of those that leave us are in 4 or 5 levels, meaning top tier teachers, that's going to have an effect on our data. So it's not just COVID gap data that we're worried about moving forward. When Melissa and I came back and you all stood up and said we are going to do something about salaries, the reason Teresa's running these numbers is because when we do something about salaries, we combat some of those other concerns that she cited on those other charts, and we stand to keep and retain some of our better teachers and staff members. And when we do that, when we're competitive, and they already feel welcome and supported in this system because we do an excellent job of training and supporting our staff, I think then we start to combat the issues of why people leave Hawkins County after they've been trained and after they've worked here an average of 7+ years and then leave. That's what it all comes down to. We can't make up ground when we're constantly bringing in brand new teachers out of college and replacing year 4 and 5 teachers. It just doesn't add up.
And we're training those teachers too.
Correct.
So we're training level 5 teachers is what we're coming up with, but then we're leaving them because of money.
So when Teresa says stealing, the other superintendents in the region all have heard this speech from me, and we all fight it with each other about this because we're trying to peel the cream of the crop from every recruiting class each year. What is the most frustrating is the amount of effort we put into our new teachers that we hire and then see them leave 7 years into the future. When they are getting to be exemplary or near exemplary in their craft.
How many do we steal?
We do a fair share. But it's hard.
We're not above it.
Isn't there a trend nationwide? I just saw some information today that there was a poll done and about 31% of the respondents of teachers said they were going to leave the profession and seek something else.
There is that trend
Nationwide, 31%.
There is that trend going on, Mr. Hicks, but I think that has a lot to do with what they've been asked to do and put up with during COVID.
Well, and that's all well and good, and I don't have a problem with that. But when you work and you got a job, and depending on what it is, whether it's the best job in the world or the worst job in the world, there are conditions that you always going to run into, and nobody can do anything about COVID. So what do we do? Do we blame COVID for everything that's going on? When if you look at the statistics and everything that we're looking at for COVID, it's all COVID related. It's not necessarily COVID, but they tagged everything with COVID related. And we made a lot of terrible mistakes in COVID.
When you said we, what do you?
Well, everybody did nationwide in every facet of government, public life, church life, school life. We made some terrible mistakes on how we handled that.
I would agree with that because there was a part of COVID that was unknown to a lot of us, especially at the start.
Right.
What I will say is that I've never worked in a system that supports their staff more so than we do, and there's external and internal reasons people stay where they're at. External are salaries and the things that you can see as a result of your work. Internal is how you feel supported, valued, appreciated, and I think that we have the intangibles. When I was interviewing for this job years ago, you all asked me how to affect, for the positive, retention of our employees. If they feel a part of a family, they will stay and want to perform. We have that no matter what we go through, whether it's COVID or negative situations. My point is that if we can add to that, which we already have as a strong point for Hawkins County by way of salaries and competitive packages, then I think we stand to keep a lot of our better employees.
But the bottom line is we can only spend what we got.
I agree.
And so, I mean, you know, once.
I'm saying this to you, and I'm saying this to the commission.
Yeah, because, I mean, I agree with you 100%, but the bottom line is when you take that issue to the public, I mean, with inflation running high as it is right now, how in the world are we gonna convince anybody to give us more money?
And I'm not suggesting we do anything right now other than what we've done. My point is that you guys stepped up to the plate this last year, and it's made a dramatic difference. These are numbers from the year prior, and we're gonna compare what we see now with what we see after we get through this year and see if that's lessened because of our supports and because of what you all were able to do with prior years of experience and your increase across the teacher scale.
That's a very good point, Mr. Hickson, because a lot of this data was collected on teachers leaving before the pay increase was in place. So I think that we will have different data this year. Moving on, and another point here to solidify what you were saying, we rated, the teachers that left us rated the relationship with their supervisors, communication with the school and with the district, the environment and the culture, as well as the base salary there. You can see that all of those areas are rated very highly there. 4.5 for the supervisor relationship, communication. What did you like most about your job? On the next chart, we're glad to see that students rank really high. Students and people in the work family. I heard that over and over and over. I love my work family, I love the people I work with, I love the students. And then the last chart there just was digging in just a little deeper into the benefit side. Everyone seems very pleased with paid holidays, vacation, life insurance, the sick leave plan, the retirement plan, health insurance, and the base salary there, once again, was our lowest area. So, as I said, the major improvement this year, Mr. Hickson and the board has worked to increase the salaries, is making a big impact. I noticed the last time I collected this data, we were 15 out of 19 surrounding districts that I compared our salaries to, and now we've moved up to 11 out of the 19 that we were compared with prior to this. So we're moving in the right direction. We're more into the middle now, and we just want to keep it going that way. Keep heading in that direction. Thank you all. Do you have any questions? Yes, Chris.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I would, if I'd like to know how we stack up with other systems with what we pay on health insurance. Is there a big difference?
I have noted that Hamlin does pay the employee's insurance
For single pay.
for just the employee.
But it's, if I can say this, we're paying 76% of the premium.
Yes.
And other schools, do they come close to that? To reference your chart of what schools are still in our employees, like Hamlin County, they may pay more than us, but what's their benefit package compared to ours?
The chart that Teresa was referring to, it typically takes into consideration total compensation. So total compensation would be a salary plus benefits. So benefits would include your health insurance, life insurance, any of those things, intangibles that the system may or may not offer at a proportionately paid rate.
Okay.
So we can pull that information. It's on the state website, and we can compare ourselves total compensation to others. When you're a younger teacher coming into the system, and you know this, when you're a younger teacher, you're looking at salary. When you're a middle of the road teacher or approaching a veteran status, you're looking at health insurance as a big piece of what you're looking to bring in.
Oh, that's true.
So
That is true.
But in most cases in employment, most employers are looking at what that money value is regardless of what those benefits are. They are, because I know I've dealt with it.
I would say with the exception of those coming right out of college, I'd agree with you. The ones coming right out of college don't even realize they necessarily have health insurance right away.
Well, and the bottom line too, as families grow and everything else, that might become more important, but it might not.
Correct.
Well, they probably don't know what they're making either till about 7 years down the road. And then they find out, well, there's other places that make a little bit more.
Very simple.
So that's where I need to try to go to.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa.